This video is about how to do patterns using GameMaker 8.1 and the pattern using paths. So you'll see that he's going down in a step formation, shooting out the weapon, and then he's going to go do a reverse and go back up. So he's going back up and shooting, and then he's going back down and shooting, and repeats until you kill him off. Alright, and I'm going to show you one other thing here. And so I went to paths here, and I right click and create a path. So all you do here is you just plot a point. Actually, let me make a new one. Create a path. So all you do is plot a point, and then you can click on this to unclose so you can open it up, and then you can pull the dots by just highlighting them and stretching them out the way you want them. You can also highlight them and then you can say delete or add. You can also do curves, so instead of a straight line you can do a curve, and that's how you do that. And also you can use these arrows here to move up and down and left or right and then left to move on screen. Now just to let you know that this screen right here does not look exactly like your room size. So your room size might be smaller or bigger than what is shown on your path here. So you may have to do some adjustments so you're able to get the whole path in the room. So I'm not sure what the room size is on this path sheet here, but you're just going to have to adjust it accordingly to your player in your room until you get it completely in the room, unless you want it outside the room. I'm not sure what this does. Oh, I guess that centers it. So if you're way over here, it jumps to center, so it goes back to where you were at. So you might get lost, and you just click on this center view, and it goes back to your original state. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my first path. I'm going to delete. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Let's see. I'm going to delete this path 1 because that's the one I just created. This is the one I had originally in the game. So he's going down in a path formation and then going back up. And you can also do a curve and then check it and then play it, and it's going to do a different effect with your character. See how it moves in a curve formation. Alright, so let me show you how I did that. Okay, so you have your player here. You just go to add event here, do a create, then you go to your move tab and drag over a set path. Then you choose your path, and I chose path 0 because that's the one I created. Then I choose a speed, set your speed. Then if you want to do reverse or continue from start or from here, be sure on your paths for GameMaker 8.1 that you choose absolute as your relative. Do not choose relative because it's going to show multiple players come out on screen. I'm not sure why it does that. I know with GameMaker Studios I can just leave this relative and it worked fine, but with GameMaker 8.1 you want to make sure it's set to absolute because relative will show multiple players come out on screen. I don't know why it does that. So once I chose absolute, it fixed the problem. So make sure that's set to absolute. Then go to your main 2 tab and drag over a alarm. I set mine to 20 seconds, and then alarm 0 is going to kick in, and then he's going to this is kind of irrelevant. He doesn't go down. This doesn't apply. If you want him to do a different path, you got to make sure in your alarm 0 that you go to your move tab and make sure you end path. You want to make sure you end the path, and then you can probably add a stopping point in there so he doesn't move. I want to see what happens here. And then when he goes, then after 15 seconds happens, it's going to, this doesn't apply. Then your alarm, your path that you deleted in the alarm 0 should kick back in, I believe. Let me see what happens. I want to see what happens. Okay, so he fires. Okay, so he does end the path there. So you want to make sure that you I'm gonna save this real quick. Okay, so I deleted it and then he stopped. Okay, that's what's happening here. And he's firing his weapon. He's firing at 270, which is going down. So he's shooting down 270. Remember, 0 is to the right, 180 is to the left, and up is 90. The object fire, it blinks constantly real fast. Be sure that you have it centered and it's masked to the circle, precise. But I did a create and I did a var statement from the control tab. This image underscore speed 0.2 and set it to, it doesn't have to be relative. That will slow down the animation of the image that's blinking quickly. That way you don't have to have so many images in here and waste a lot more space on image space anyways. So that will slow it down at 0.2. If you make this 0.5 or 6 or whatever, it will go faster. Okay, so back to the object player. So then you choose your bullet, which I chose my bullet. X is 0 because I want it shooting right at where his mouth's at. Y is set 25, so that's away from his mouth, so it's not going to be too close to his face. And then speeds at 20, it's going to shoot 20. It's going to shoot that fast at 20 speeds. Make sure it's set to relative, because that's why you have the crosshairs in the middle there. So that's where it's going to shoot at, in that direction, in that location. Then you have a blend setting. I got the blend from the main 1 tab. Drag over color sprint. Make sure that you change you make a color here. You choose your color, or you can make a color right here at the bottom. Make sure that the alpha is set to 100 because you want to make sure you see the color. And then do alarm 1. Go back to your alarms here. Main 2 tab, drag over alarm, set it to alarm 1, 15 seconds, and then this alarm 1 has to match up here, otherwise it won't switch, it won't do anything. Then I have the color sprint changed to white. You gotta make sure it's set to white and make sure the alpha is 100 to make it go back to the original color of what the image was, which is yellow. I don't know what GameMaker, I don't know why GameMaker chooses white, or you can't choose a sprint image, but white is the color you need, or it's not really a color, but and you're basically making it transparent back to yellow again. Make sure it's set to 100. Then alarm 2 is going to kick in at 10 seconds, and then it's going to jump to alarm 2 when that happens, and then it's going to go back to alarm 0 at 1 second. So after 1 second, the alarm 0 is going to kick back into right here, and it's going to do a loop. And if I want to add a path to, because I destroyed it so you can stop, go back, go to alarm 1, and I'm thinking you can just go and add set path and choose your path, and you could potentially make a new path. You can make a new path and have them do something different if you wanted to. I can change that to 5 speed and maybe continue from start or something. I don't know. Let me see what that happens. Make sure this is set to absolute. I've got to go back in my game here. For some reason, GameMaker 8.1 will shut off after so many times I play the game, and you have to go back into it for some reason. I don't understand that, but that's how it's set up. Okay, so it's doing something wonky here. So I would just, I don't know, I can end the path and have them stop, but then I can't have them go back to the path for some reason. Let me continue from start. Do reverse. Start from here. Let me try to start from here. Taking a couple seconds to load up. Yeah, it's not working correctly. So what I would do is I would just take out this end path, take out this direction thing, and just leave this set path. Continue from here. And I would just do a reverse. Or you can have it stop. You can have it stop, finish this path out. Then at the very end here, go to add event and do other, set it to room, outside room, and then make him jump back to the original position. So once he leaves the room down here at the bottom, you can't see him anymore. He's going to jump back to this position. So let me see what happens when I do that. Yeah, it's not working right. Well, like I said, I would just delete this. When I talked about alarms in my other video, it worked great for outside room, but with the path, it's not working correctly, I guess. So after the path, just basically have it set to reverse. So like I said, you can do paths or you can do alarms. I guess alarms a little bit more flexible a little bit, but you know, you don't get a visual like you do with the paths. So, and he's not, you know what it was, I think maybe, I don't know, it's weird, it's not, change this to 20 speeds, it's not, let me do relative, but I don't think I think it messes up. I might have, Oh, I have a long. That's why I have another path set in here. That's why it's messing up. I didn't get rid of that path. Okay, so make sure this is absolute. Now it should work. It should. I'm thinking it should work now. So yeah, paths you get a visual, but alarms I think are a little bit more flexible. See, now he's going crazy because I have him at 10 speeds. But you can, like I said, slow it down. Oh, I have it at 20 speed. No wonder it's going too fast. And then maybe I could change this back to a straight line or something. And like I said, you could extend this out further so he potentially could go off the screen. So it's whatever you want to do here. Take him some time to load up here. Now he's doing the step formation, and then he should go in reverse. Yep, there he goes, shooting in reversed. So that's how you do paths in GameMaker 8.1. Like I said, just download. I would just download this GameMaker 8.1 file and then play around with it, and you know, decide whether you like the paths or you like the alarms, and just mess with one or the other. I mean, I'm using both alarms and paths, I guess, in this situation. But like I said, you could use the move fix position for each alarm to go have them do something different. But see, with paths you can actually do a curve effect versus using, I guess you could use the move free and put in your direction. I guess you could probably use this to make a curve probably. But if you want to see a visual, use paths. If you want to use alarms, you can. Doesn't matter. Just paths a little more easier to see and and work around than alarms. But that's about it. Thanks for watching.